problem. Okay, our third problem is actually an easier one. It's asking us to find the square root of 128. So let's just do that. Our problem number 3 is asking us to find the square root of 128. The square root of 128. So how do we find the square root of 128? We use prime factorization. Prime factorization. What we do is just, what prime factorization is basically we just find the smallest prime factors of this number, and then we just keep going until this expression is comprised of entirely prime factors, or you can't find prime factors of this expression anymore, and then we can find the square root of this expression by inspection. So yeah, upon looking at this, we know that this number, or 128, can be 2 is a factor of 128 because any number that ends with 0, 2, 6, 8 has a factor of 2, or 2 is a factor of any number that ends with 0, 2, 4, 6, 8. Okay, so we know that 128 is 2 times the number, and 2 times what number? We just use 128 divided by 2, which is 64. And we also know that 64 is a prime factor, or 2 is a factor of 64, so 64 divided by 2 is 32. And 32 is also a factor of 32, so we just do 2 times 16, and then we do 2 times 2, or 2 times 2 times 2 times, and we know 16 is like 4 2's multiplied together, so we just do 2 times 2, or 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. It might be easier from here because from here you also know that 8 times 8 is 64, so you might be able to get your answer directly from here. But we'll just do the full step because our audience is like everyone. So yeah, and let's count the number of 2's. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 7 2's. So let's just do 2 times 2 to the power of 6. So that's 7 2's in total. And that would be this, we can just split the terms, and we know from over here that the square root is also the power of 1/2. So we know that these two expressions are equivalent, and we know that 6 times 1/2 is 3, and we know that 2 cubed is 2 times 2 times 2, which is 8. So we have root 2 times 8, or 8 root 2. So the square root of 128 is 8 root 2, because 128 is not a perfect square. Okay, let's look at our sample solution over here. So yes, they're also trying to factor 128. Yes, yeah, they just directly went with 8 times 8 when they have the 64 over here, and their final answer is 8 root 2. That's perfect. So let's just say the solution is correct. Perfect. Solution is correct. Okay, now let's move on.